Here's a question for you. Should you go to college? Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Richard Branson, Jay-Z, what do these individuals have in common? We're sure you know what they do have, so we'll tell you what they don't have. A college degree. So should you even go to college? It's always interesting to learn how many people have attained wealth beyond our wildest imaginations, despite disobeying the natural order that dictates we all go to college after high school. Today, we profile another such phenomenal individual. Although he hasn't exactly hit the billionaire status of the names mentioned earlier, he comfortably sits in the 6-0 Club, an exclusive group he joined despite never entering the walls of a college classroom and barely caring about his high school education. His name is Graham Stephan. He only stands 5 feet 8 inches when measured from the ground, but he is easily a giant if the height is measured with him standing on an estimated net worth of $6 million. Contrary to what you might think, Graham Stephan did not come from money. His parents both filed for bankruptcy when he was only 16 years old. Yet he was able to crack the code to wealth. The secrets behind his success can be summarized into 3 simple points. Number 1 is a possession of financial awareness beyond his years. And number 2 is discipline despite being told by everyone around him that he was making a mistake. Number 3, well, now that's a rather surprising one that only makes sense in the context of his financial journey to wealth. So let's get into the details, shall we? A millennial born in 1990 in the beach town of Santa Monica, California, Graham Stephan has sure come a long way. Now 32 years old, he is an icon in the financial world and has been profiled by media houses like Forbes and CNBC. He currently lives in a 3,900 square foot mansion in Las Vegas worth a whopping $1.4 million. One of the biggest attractions in his massive home is a colorful $45,000 aquarium that houses coral reefs and exotic fish. Why would anyone blow all that money on an aquarium? For Graham, it holds sentimental value. That aquarium represents his life coming full circle from the start of his money-making journey as a 13-year-old boy. You see, Graham earned his first dollar working for an aquarium wholesaler that traded coral reefs and exotic fish. His job description was pretty simple. Take photographs of the marine life, edit them in Photoshop, and upload them to the shop's website. The pay was good money too, $1 for every photo he took and uploaded. Graham was making as much as $100 a day, which is decent money for some adults. Never mind the teenager that he was. At this point, he understandably started to question the relevance of school. I would be sitting in my geometry class thinking, like, this is a 45-minute class, I could be photoshopping 25 pictures in this time. What would I rather have, $25 or sitting in this stupid class that I'm never going to do anything with? As you can guess, his grades tanked deeper than the fishes he was taking pictures of. But he was making enough money not to care. Unfortunately, that business closed when he was 16 years old, right around the time his parents filed for bankruptcy. More than ever, he needed a new way to make money. The desperation forced him to abandon the relatively successful high school musical band he was a part of. He took a data entry job at an investment bank instead, but that nearly drove him into depression. He still harbors regret about quitting music, but the need to get back to making money eventually forced him to real estate, and that's where things took off. As a direct consequence of the bad grades in high school, no college accepted Graham. He formulated a new plan to gather experience by working in real estate for a year before reapplying for college. He got his real estate license in 2008 and sought mentorships from more experienced agents. They all had one answer for him: do not get into real estate. Go to college instead. No one is going to buy a house from an 18-year-old. Gather more life experiences. They gave him every reason not to venture into real estate. Fortunately, he met one agent that gave him support, encouragement, and mentorship he needed. And just like that, Graham Stephan was in the real estate business. His start to the job was, however, underwhelming. 3 months in, he had not made a sale. 6 months passed and still nothing. Perhaps all the real estate agents were right. Maybe he did need to turn his focus to getting a college degree. He hit the 8-month mark and was still on 0 sales. Same for the 9th month, and doubts were creeping in by now. But in his 10th month, he made his breakthrough, and boy was it a big one. He sold a $3.6 million luxury home in Beverly Hills. And as if on cue, the floodgates opened. 2 months later, he closed another sale, this time for $1.2 million. Then he sold another one for $2 million. He had figured out real estate, and commissions from sales began to pour in like clockwork. By his third year, he was ranking in $100,000 per year. All was going perfectly, except for one small problem. Real estate for me was pretty inconsistent, and I felt uneasy knowing I'm only as good as my last deal. For all the great potential of real estate has as an income source, the irregularity with which paychecks come in remains one of the downsides. Graham, however, had an ace up his sleeve. He took the money he saved up, cashed in on the recession of 2011, and purchased a house for a cut price and rented out the newly acquired property. It worked like a charm, and Graham invested more money in acquiring rental properties. Now, with two sources of income that complemented each other nicely, Graham Stephan had cemented his place as a success story and authority figure in real estate. By 2020, he quit his job as a real estate agent, having made over $130 million in sales and selling homes to celebrities such as Orlando Bloom, Whale, and Chloe Moretz. Why quit a job that was so lucrative it allowed him to beat the goal of becoming a millionaire before 30? He found a new way to make even more money on a more consistent and predictable basis. As the bells of the Christmas season rang in 2016, Graham Stephan got his gift from Santa, the conviction to start his very own YouTube channel. He had toyed with the idea for years, but kept postponing because he didn't think he could succeed on the video sharing platform. But he was very wrong, as you might have figured. He has since gone on to be a YouTube sensation thanks to his videos that focus on sharing amazing insights into the world of financial independence and wealth creation. It did take a while for him to get it right, though. The good news was that he was already up to $500,000 per year in real estate earnings by 2017, so he could focus on creating great content without having to worry about the slow income from YouTube. He committed to uploading 3 videos per week, and slowly but surely the earnings and views started to multiply exponentially. By the end of 2017, he earned $26,966.69 from YouTube. He did nearly 10 times that figure in 2018. He was dishing out great financial wisdom and was being rewarded for it. By 2019, he upped his production rate to a video a day. When combining his earning from ad revenue, sponsorships, and affiliate sales, Graham Stephan ended the year with a big fat check for $1.9 million. Then the pandemic happened, and with people taking hits financially due to being locked indoors, they needed to learn about personal finances more than ever. So Graham became more popular than he ever had before. So popular that he outgrew the need for real estate and moved out of Los Angeles to settle in Las Vegas. He now has 4.6 million subscribers on his YouTube channel and even more dollars, 5 million of them to be exact, in 2021 alone. Graham Stephan is now fully committed to dominating the airwaves as a full-time YouTuber. Now, you know almost everything about Graham Stephan has managed to build his $6 million empire. Well, almost everything. What you don't know is his last secret, which has less to do about making money and more to do with saving it. Yes, Graham is really big on saving money. Some people refer to him as a frugal millionaire, although we prefer the term financial minimalist. That has a nicer ring to it. Graham has been deep into saving money all his life, especially since seeing his parents go bankrupt. He saved up a huge percentage of all his earnings as he came up, allowing him to cash in on opportunities to grow his wealth as soon as they appeared. To this day, he refuses to get coffee from Starbucks and other retail coffee businesses because he believes that it's just cheaper to make it yourself. He even launched his own coffee company, Bankroll Coffee, sometime last year. He serves $400,000 every month compared to a mere $820 he spent on monthly feeding. Agree with his tight-fistedness or not, there is no doubt that this has helped him in the journey thus far. So what's next for Graham Stephan? There are definitely more millions on his horizon, because this financial guru is not stopping anything soon. And hey Graham, if you're watching this, how about you give music another try? Now that you're rich and comfortable, we hear income from streaming platforms is massive these days.